In 2015, a woman was killed when an illegal immigrant claims he saw a t-shirt of some sort and there was a gun inside, and when he picked it up, it accidentally discharged, bounced off the ground, and killed the woman. He was acquitted. And I want to stress, this man was an illegal immigrant who was deported several times. Now they're overturning the gun charge conviction against him. So it may be that this guy just faces no consequences for killing this woman. The woman is Kate Steinle. I could be pronouncing the name wrong, so I apologize. But this was a pivotal case going into 2016 with concern over illegal immigrants and crime. Now, I'm not going to sit here and entertain the debate about whether or not illegal immigrants commit more or less crime or whatever, because you can have that argument. I want to highlight this, that in California, someone killed someone else and apparently is going to face no real repercussions. To me, that's rather shocking because at least there's manslaughter. There's got to be something, right? Not even a gun charge for picking up a gun. Well, the argument, I suppose, is that he didn't know. It was wrapped in a t-shirt. But that all sounds kind of conspiratorial, doesn't it? It sounds like a weird, set of coincidences to bring us to this point where a guy who had been deported 5 times, just got out of jail, finds a t-shirt, picks it up, and then a bullet fires, bounces off the ground, and kills a woman. What is this, Final Destination? So I gotta say, this whole thing is weird, but I will stress, I wasn't in the jury, so I don't really know. But let's read the story and see what happened. California appeals court overturns gun charge conviction against the illegal immigrant who was acquitted of murder after fatally shooting Kate Steinle on a San Francisco pier. They say Jose Inez Garcia Zarate was acquitted of murder in the killing of Kate Steinle, who was walking on a pier with her father when she was struck by a bullet in the back on July 2015. He was convicted of a single charge of being a felon in possession of a gun. The case against Garcia Zarate, who was in the country illegally and had been deported 5 times, touched off a fierce immigration debate that was a fixture in Donald Trump's stump speeches in his 2016 presidential campaign. They say the First District Court of Appeal overturned the gun conviction because the judge failed to give the jury the option of acquitting Garcia Zarate on the theory he only possessed the weapon for a moment. So I kid you not. What they're saying is, my understanding is in the original case, the judge could have said he only briefly had the gun. That's an option. And because he didn't, now he's not convicted at all. It's entirely possible the jury would have just been like, I don't care how long he had the gun. He picked up a gun and shot somebody. Let's read on. Garcia Zarate said he unwittingly picked up the gun wrapped in a t-shirt and fired it accidentally. But how does that happen? Do you randomly just find a shirt bunched up on the ground in a strange shape, pick it up, and then fire a gun? The bullet ricocheted off a concrete walkway and struck Steinle, who was with her dad and a family friend. At the time, Garcia Zarate had recently been released from the county jail while facing deportation proceedings. He was released under San Francisco's so-called sanctuary city policy that barred local law enforcement officials from cooperating with most federal immigration investigations. She'd be alive. Call it an accident, right? Let's say it was an accident. She'd be alive if the law was followed. And that's the other story I have. And I don't know if I'll have time to get into everything, but Judicial Watch is seeking a permanent injunction against California County's sanctuary policy. Conservatives are naturally outraged by this because, again, the left tries to make the claim, often, that gun control is needed because of accidental deaths. Okay, well, in this instance, we had an accidental death because a guy got out of jail, went and found a t-shirt under a bench with a gun in it and shot somebody. If you were to ask me, I don't think it was an accident that he went to find a gun. We went to find a t-shirt and then it had a gun in it. That sounds really weird. But let's just entertain the idea of accidental deaths. Okay, great. Well, if they followed the law and ICE came and deported this guy who had been deported several times before, Kate would be alive. So look, I am not making an argument that illegal immigrants commit more or less crime. That's for a different subject. You can do a different video. You want to make that argument. The point is, this was an unnecessary death because California doesn't want to cooperate with federal authorities. They say, Tony Serra, the attorney who was representing Garcia Zarate on federal gun charges, gun possession, and being in the country illegally, said his client is in custody and faces a January 13 trial. He said the state reversal means the district attorney will have the option of retrying Garcia Zarate on those charges. That kind of error causes reversals all the time. Then the prosecution has the prerogative of going again. The state case is a heavier case because it is a homicide and a gun. It's going to be a big potential decision on what they're going to do. The San Francisco District Attorney's Office did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Daily Mail. Naturally, This story is triggering massive, massive outrage. Look, I'm not the arbiter of morality. I can't tell you what is right or wrong. But I can say that I find it rather strange that someone can be a felon who's deported 5 times and they wouldn't tell ICE? They wouldn't do something about this? The argument from the left typically tends to be, but they're families, they're good people, they're not criminals. Okay, well, deport the criminals at least? How did we get to the point where not only have the Democrats been embracing giving health care to non-citizens, but they're refusing to cooperate with ICE when it comes to a felon? If you want to talk about somebody who came here illegally, and they're working here illegally, and they have no other crimes on their record, and they're nonviolent, okay, I'm listening. I still disagree. But at least that makes sense. Hey, it's somebody who's just working. Okay, well, we got economic issues. We have border, security issues. But when you have somebody who is, getting out of jail, who has been deported 5 times, and this is a circumstance where couldn't you just be like, okay, this is somebody that needs to be deported? That's the extremism of what we're seeing from the far left, from California. So we have this story I want to read a little bit from a couple days ago. They say nonprofit government watchdog Judicial Watch stated it has filed a lawsuit in California Superior Court seeking a permanent injunction to bar Santa Clara County officials from enforcing a sanctuary policy that protects illegal aliens accused of heinous crimes. Why would you protect people accused of heinous crimes? That seems crazy to me. Doesn't it seem crazy to you? I don't even know what's going on anymore, man. Because I say it all the time, but when I talk to my friends and family as lifelong Democrats, we're sitting here scratching our heads. Who are you catering to? Which vote are you trying to get? Don't tell me it's about doing the right thing here. Filed August 28th on behalf of Santa Clara County taxpayer Howard Myers. The suit requests an injunction against Sheriff Lori Smith and Rick Sung, acting chief of corrections. The injunction would prevent Smith and Sung from expending taxpayer funds and taxpayer-financed resources on a recently enacted policy that requires federal immigration officials to obtain a judicial warrant before an alien in Santa Clara County's custody may be transferred to federal immigration officials' custody for removal from the United States. The suit was prompted by the refusal of county officials to cooperate with efforts by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement to take into custody Carlos Arevalo Carranza, 24, an illegal alien accused in the brutal February 28th murder of county resident Bambi Larson. I don't even know what I'm reading. How do you convince where are the Democrats who are saying it's good that murderers can walk free? How did we get to that point? I feel like the Democrats are gone. I just feel like there is no Democratic Party anymore. There are certainly moderate Democrats who are shocked by this, but there's no unity. I can't imagine any sane, rational person would be like, it's a good thing that somebody murdered somebody and they get to walk free. Granted, accusations innocent until proven guilty and all that. Larson, 59, died from multiple deep wounds consistent with a cutting tool, according to court documents. Several weeks after Larson's murder, Arevalo Carranza was arrested by local law enforcement and charged with her death. Mr. Arevalo Carranza reportedly had multiple prior convictions in Santa Clara County, including a conviction for burglary in 2015, convictions for battery of an officer resisting arrest and entering a property in Okay, you know what? I just don't even understand what's happening anymore. There's no law enforcement. The left has increasingly put pressure on police saying they're bad people. There are some bad cops. I think it'd be absurd not to point out there's bad cops in some bad culture. But we need law enforcement. Now they're just not even bothering to enforce laws against illegal immigrants who are committing all of these crimes. Why should these people walk free? Look, if you're convicted, you go to jail. I think the prison system needs to be reformed dramatically. I think private prisons are bad. I think we need to focus on rehabilitation. But I also don't think it's fair to the taxpayers, to our community, to pay to allow these people to continue breaking the law, but more importantly, to allow them to be here straining resources regardless. Why are we paying for someone to walk around committing crimes against us? He also reportedly had multiple prior arrests in 2015 through 18 in both Santa Clara County and Los Angeles County, including arrests for possession of drug paraphernalia and methamphetamine, prowling, and false identification. I'm just so tired, man. Seriously, I'm over it. We look at this story and we say, this woman didn't have to die. This man was arrested multiple times, but they didn't want to cooperate with the law. For why? For what reason? It's not an argument about families. Literally, they're criminals. And then we have this, another story where a woman was murdered. It's like, You have someone, you've arrested them, you know they're a criminal, and you let them go, and someone dies. When that happens, they died because of you. If law enforcement can stop a criminal, and they don't commit crimes after that, they've done their job. But when you don't follow, it's mind-blowing to me. Isn't that crazy? And the Democrats aren't even going to do anything about this? Bring me the argument. Seriously. There's literally no argument. I consider myself to be a rather fair person, and I try to hear, everyone's take on things. But tell me your argument for why known criminals, drug users should be allowed to walk free, and then in 2 instances have killed somebody. Have killed somebody. Whatever, man. I got one more segment coming up in a few minutes. Stick around. I will see you then.